Good morning, folks. Another tenants' right vlog here. At least I hope it's going to be. Seems to be my camera's a little crooked. Like, share, and subscribe. This looks like it's going to be an epic battle. You want to talk about the ultimate underdog. Alright, now, I apologize for any babbling. I wrote this down, and I hope that somebody actually sees this video and actually sees the horrible conundrum that I am faced with. I tried to be as brief as I could and as eloquent as I could. It's very hard when you're actually living this mess. Alright, I'm going to start reading now. First and foremost, any attorney in breach of the lawyer's oath would be considered to be operating with misconduct. To know a law has been violated and do nothing about it is in direct violation of the lawyer's oath. The highlighted areas are as followed. I have some documents that are highlighted, but what it's basically saying is, well, let me just read instead of babble. In the Attorney Grievance Commission's findings, there are several untruths. In regards to careful review of materials, one can only ascertain from the missing pages of text as well as the duplicates and the irrelevant text between this property owner and myself show there was no careful review involved. The commission staff did not thoroughly review the materials that were provided, nor did anyone from the Attorney Grievance Committee get in touch with me to obtain the text from me. In my statement I sent to them, I say I can send the video of the text between Paul and I if an email address is given. None was ever given to me to send that to. Nobody ever contacted me. Very disheartening, and I'm sorry to just babble. I'm trying to get through this. My apologies. In my complaint, I state the reason for Paul Clark is the lawyer, by the way. I've already said that several times in other videos. Anyway, Paul Clark's misconduct is as follows. The misconduct that Paul Clark is accused of is acting as my attorney and then dropping the ball and taking the appropriate actions needed to get this property owner to court. It says Mr. Riscala to court. I hate saying that. He's a piece of work, he is. In Paul's rebuttals to my claim to the Attorney Grievance Committee, he states in his first paragraph, after paragraph, rented lips and borrowed tongue, sorry. Quote, after Mr. Croteau's approval, end quote. That was needed so he could tell me he didn't want to represent me. How? Sorry to be facetious there, whatever you want to say. He was acting as my attorney all the way through is what I was getting across there. As for the rundown home and rent-free, anyone that sees any of these videos of mine knows that my place is not run down, and never did I say that to Paul. Working for one's rent, I did 2 jobs for this property owner, and I was working as his employee, by the way, and I told Paul this. Seems to not matter, though. I paid my whole year's worth of rent, and he owes me money for other jobs that I done for him. I told Paul that too, but Paul doesn't care about that. The law doesn't matter, I guess. The next highlighted areas in these statements I have, quote, could not be rented. This is what Paul says. I never said that this here could not be rented. And he says that this is from the city's. Well, it's a big mess. All of these statements that this guy says seem a bit defaming to me, like demeaning. Paul also adds a lot of irrelevant statements in with the lies he's trying to tell. My rebuttal to Paul Excuse me. My rebuttal to the next highlighted area on page number 5, and there again, this is all in the documents from the Attorney Grievance Commission. The only time throughout Paul and I's text that he indicates that he does not want to represent me is on the very last page, after I fired him. In support of Paul's actually acting as my lawyer is as follows. On page 7, now remind you, the last page is where he says he does not want to represent me, and it's only after I fired him because he would not get off his ass and do his job. On page 7, Paul claims me as his client. On page 14, Paul states, I will do as you ask. On page 18, Paul says, let's talk after my hearing. And this is really damning here. On page 23, I will email you with my thoughts and we can talk about retaining me. That there, he absolutely shows he wants to be my lawyer. It's not until after he drags his feet for months. Yeah, okay, let me say this. All of this is in the filing of the Attorney Grievance Commission, committee, whatever, and absolutely shows that Paul was acting as my attorney from July 6th of 2021 until September 14th. So how many months is that I waited for this guy to do his job? And that's me being difficult, huh? You can see through all of my correspondence with this person that I was nothing but kind, respectful, considerate, courteous. Lawyers, excuse me. In closing, I would like to say that in my complaint about Paul, I outline Paul's misconduct, provide evidence, and the Attorney Grievance Commission failed to do a proper investigation. Lawyers are supposed to be there to help us when we need help and uphold themselves to a higher standard. An example, the lawyer's oath, while providing this help. When this standard fails, we the people suffer and should act as one to ensure proper resolution of such situations. That is what a community is for. I can provide video of the entire text message conversation between Paul and I, as there are pages missing from the Attorney Grievance Commission's report. The human factor is the horrible damage that has been done to me psychologically and financially. Man, I hope that somebody sees this video and actually is able to help me. This is a horrible situation that I'm going through, and it seems like nobody gives a shit. Like, here, who cares? Fuck you and die. Man, I tell you here now, I do not want to die. My sister Kelly gave me strength by her standing up and wanting to live through all that she went through before she died. That's another horrible story that's all part of this crap here. I couldn't go see my sister before she died because of this situation. Man, I'm begging for help. If there's anybody out there that can see this video or that sees this video that can help me, I'm really begging for help. Please, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm going to post this to all social media that I can. Have a good day.